Hi everyone, so today we are solving this problem, remove all adjacent duplicates part 2. Okay, so what is the difference in this problem? So the difference is basically you will be given the value of k. So in the earlier problem, the last problem that we have solved, so we have to remove two adjacent equal letters. Okay, so we have to remove two adjacent equal letter in the last problem, but here the value of 2, for example, here the value of k will be given. Okay, so we have to remove k duplicates. You can see, so this problem is also present on the LeetCode. So what we have to do here, so basically we have to remove k duplicate. Okay, and again we will do it repeatedly. Okay, so we will choose k adjacent and equal letters and then we will remove them. Okay, so k adjacent equal letters removal. Okay, so in the last problem that we have solved, the value of k was 2. Okay, so in the previous problem the value of k was 2, but here the value of k will be given by the user. Okay, so let's see some example first. So this is input, basically input string, and this is the value of k. So there are no two adjacent characters, so the output will be ABCD only. Okay, so there is nothing to remove. Now here the value of k is 3. So I will remove these 3. I will remove these 3. So what will be my string? So my string will become D, then B, B, D, A and A. So again, as you can see here, so we have this B. So we will remove it. Then what will be our string? So our string will become D, A. Now again we can see here, so this is again we will remove these 3, so our string will become A and A. Okay, so this will be our output. Okay, so now let us consider this example. So the value of k is 2. Okay, so I will remove these 2. I will remove these 2. I will remove these 2. Then I will remove these 2. Then these 2. Okay, so this whole will be removed. So what will be our string? So this will be P, then we have C, so PC, then again we have C, then we have I, and then again we have I and S, so I and S. Okay, so now what will happen? So these 2 and these 2, they will be removed. So my answer will be P and S. Okay, so this will be my output string. This is output string. Now the question is, how can we solve this question? Okay, so in the previous question, the value of k was fixed. The value of k was 2, but here the value of k will be variable. So how can we solve this question? So we will use the same approach that we used in the earlier problem. So basically we will take the help of stack. Okay, we will take the help of stack. Now let us take an example and we will take, let's say we are taking this example, so we will see how we can solve it with the help of a stack. Okay, so I have D triple E D double B C. Okay, so I have D triple E D double B double C, and then triple C B D A A, triple C B D A A, and the value of k is basically 3. Let me again check. So yes, the value of k is 3. Okay, so we will take a stack. Now this time our stack will be different. Okay, so our stack will be little different here. So in the last problem we created stack of characters, but here our stack will contain 2 things. Okay, so the 2 things, I will make a pair, and inside the pair it will store 2 things. First is the character and second is the count of that character. Okay, so let us iterate. So we will iterate over this string. So let's see. So first I am having character D. Okay, so character D we will push because the stack is empty. So character D count is 1. Okay, character and count. So character D count 1. Now E. So compare, again we are following the same approach. Okay, so we are following the same approach that we did in the last problem. The only difference is we are maintaining a count variable also. Okay, so compare the current element with the top of the stack. So E and D, they are different. So I will push E. So push E, the count is 1. Okay, now E. So compare E with E. Okay, so they are same. So what I will do, I will increase the count. So I will make the count 2. And then after making the count 2, I will check with 3. So the count is 2 and check the value of K is 3. So I do not have to do anything. Okay. Now again E. So compare E with E. Now I will make the count 3. So I will make this count 3. Now see, the value of K is 3 and our topmost element has count 3. So what I will do, I will pop. So we are following the same rules. So the rules are very simple. So rule number 1, if the stack is empty, so if stack empty, then push. So this was our earlier rule also. Now the second rule was, so compare the current element. So this is my current element. So if the current element is not equals to the topmost element, so basically stack top, then also we are pushing the element. Now the third case, so now the elements are equal. Basically this is the condition, the current element is equals to the topmost element of the stack. Stack.top, so stack.top is storing two things. So I want to compare the character. So I want the character. Okay, so this is the condition. So if this is the condition, what I have to do, so I will increase the count. So increase the count. So basically I can say count plus plus. So we are increasing. So this was 1, then I made it 2, and then I made it 3. Okay, so we will do count plus plus, and if the count becomes equals to the given value, which is K, then pop. Okay, then pop. So this is the only difference here. Okay, so this is the significance of count. If the count becomes K, then pop. Now D. So yes, D is present. So what I will do, so this is not here. Okay, so this is the topmost element of the stack right now. So D is equals to D. So I will make the count 2. Now compare the count 2 with 3. So they are not equal. I will move ahead. So B. So I will push B. So I am pushing B. So this is B and the count is 1. Okay. Then again B. So I will make the count 2. Then C. So basically C. This is C and the count is 1. Again C. So make the count 2. Again C. So make the count 3. As soon as the count becomes equals to K, what I will do, I will pop. Okay, so I will pop. Now B. So compare with B. At the top, I am having the same element, so I will make the count 3. So as soon as the count become equals to K, I will pop. So pop. Now currently my stack is only having one element, which is D, and its count is 2. Okay, so again D. So what we will do, so the current element is equals to the topmost element, make the count 3, and 3 equals to K, so I will pop the element. Now my stack is empty at this point. Okay, so I have A, so my stack is empty, so I have A, so A and the count is 1. Okay, again, so I have A and the current element is equals to the topmost element, so I will increase the count. So A and 2. So basically this is my stack, and then I will reach the end of the string. So when I reach the end of the string, this is my stack A and its count is 2. Okay, so how will I know my answer? So basically this is my answer. What I will do, I will pop the element. So basically for constructing the answer, pop the element and its count is 2. So since the count is 2, I will write A 2 times. And then our standard approach, what we will do, we will reverse our answer. So we will reverse. So in this case, after reversing, we are getting the same answer, A and A. Okay, but we have to reverse. So I have to reverse. Okay. Now after reversing, in this case, we are getting the same answer, but the answer may have been different. Okay. If you want, let us try on one more example. Okay, so let us take one more example. Okay, so I am taking example on my own. So let us say this is A, then B, and let's say I have A. Again I have, let's say, B, then C, and then A, and let's say I have D here and then D. Okay, so let us consider this example. Okay, let us consider this one example. And let's say the value of K is basically 3. Okay, so let's see what will happen. Let's put E here also. Okay, E, and the value of K is 3. Okay, so let us consider a stack. Stack will contain two things, count and character. Okay, so I will have count, I will have character and its corresponding count. Okay, so what I will do, so I will create a stack of pair, and pair is basically a class which has two properties, character and count. Okay, so let's see, this is D, so D, count is 1. Again D, make the count 2. Compare 2 with 3, they are different. Okay, so A, so push A, count is 1. Again A, so make the count 2. So I have B, so push B, count is 1. Again B, so we will make the count 2. Then push A, so I have A, the count is 1. Again A, make the count 2. Again A, make the count 3. Okay, so at this point my count is 3 and 3 equals K. So what I'm gonna do here is I will pop. So pop. Okay, so now let's move forward. So I have B, so what I will do, I will make the count 3 and 3 equals K. 3 equals K, so what I will do, I will pop. Okay, so let's move forward. So I have C, so I have this C, count is 1. Again C, so count becomes 2. Again C, so count becomes 3. And as soon as the count becomes equals to K, what I will do, I will pop. Okay, now let's move ahead. So I have A, so this is A, so I will make the count 3 and then I will pop. Now let's move ahead. I have E, so I have E, count is 1. Then I have E, so count becomes 2. And then I will reach the end of the string. Okay, so what is my answer? First I will pop this element E and I will write 2 times E. So 2 times E, then I will pop this element, I will write 2 times D. Okay, and then I will reverse. So after reversing, my answer will be D, D, E and E. So this is the correct answer. Okay, so you can also see from here, first of all what will happen, so I will remove these 3 and I will remove these 3. Okay, so removing these 3 and removing these 3, so what will happen, I will have B and this B, then it will be removed. Then what will happen, so I will have this 2A and this A, so then they will be removed. And finally I will have DD and these last 2 E's. So this will be our answer and our answer is basically right. Okay, so what will be our approach? So first of all I will make a stack of pair. And what is pair? Pair is basically nothing, it will be a class. Okay, and its data type will be, its data member will be character and integer. So character basically let's call it first and integer let's call it second. Okay, so character, you understood the meaning of character and count integer here. So integer second means basically the count. Okay, so I am naming it first and second. Okay, so I hope you understood this question. Okay, so now let us write the code. Okay, so what I am doing here is I am copying this code. Okay, that we did in the last session. So let us copy this code. So what do we want? First of all we need a class of pair for creating the stack. Okay, so I need two data members, first and second. So first will store the character. Okay, so first will store the character and second will store the count. Okay, so this will store the character and the second it will store the count. Okay, it will store the count. So what do I want? So first of all, I want to create a stack. I will create a stack of pair. Okay, so let's say the name is S. Then this is the old code. So again we have to iterate over the array, over the string. If the stack is empty, I am pushing, and if they are different, if the current element and top element they are different, then I'm again pushing. But I have to push a pair. Okay, so I have to push a pair. So let us create a pair first. So I am creating an object of the pair class. Okay, so I am creating an object. So pair P, and I have to give its value. So the value, the character is A of I and its count is 1. Okay, so for this line to work, I have to create the constructor. Okay, so I have to create the constructor. So let's create the constructor. So I have this constructor pair. It will take two things, character and count. Okay, so first and second. So first equals F and second equals S. Okay, so now I have created the pair. So after creating the pair, I am pushing pair inside the stack. Okay, I am pushing the object P. Okay, so now let us come to the else part. Now in the else part, I cannot directly pop. Okay, so this is wrong. I cannot directly pop. So as we discussed, what we are doing. So first we are increasing the count. Okay, so first what we are doing, we are if the character is same. If the character are same, we are increasing the count and then we are checking the count with K. Okay, so first increase count and then check the count with K. Okay, so at this point elements are same. Okay, so basically A of I, the current element, is basically equals to the top element of the stack. Okay, so current element is equals to top element. So what I have to do, first I have to increase the count of the topmost element. So s dot top. So after writing s dot top, what will I get? I will get a pair. Now to access the character, to access the count, I have to write second. Okay, so s dot top dot second. Now what I have to write? Plus plus. So I have increased the count. So what is the count? Count is basically s dot top dot second. Now what I have to do? I have to check the count. So if the count becomes equals to K, what I have to do? I have to pop. Okay, so s dot pop. So very simple. Okay, so now now here what we are doing, so we are making our answer. Okay, so what we are doing, while stack is not empty, so first of all it will not be s dot top. S dot top is basically what? S dot top is basically a pair. It will return me a pair object and I want the character. So for character I have to write first. Okay, you can see here for obtaining the character I have to write first. So basically this is not right, because as we can see here, so it was like D and 2. So since it was 2 there, what I have to write, I have to copy D 2 times. Okay, I have to copy D 2 times. So I have to take care of count also. So copy D 2 times. So what I have to do, so first of all we will find out the count. Okay, so how many times we need that character. So for finding out the top, for finding out the count, we need the second. And while count minus minus, how many times we need that element. Okay, so after copying the element count times, I will pop that element and then I am reversing and then I am returning my answer. Okay, so I hope everything is fine. Now let's try to run our code and then we will try to submit. Okay, so Okay, so there is syntax error. Okay. Okay, so here what we have to write, s.top basically is returning me a pair object and I want the character. So for obtaining the character, I have to write first. Okay, so now let's run. Now let's try to submit. Okay, so our code is working fine. Okay, so yes, our code is working fine. Now let's see our code one more time. Okay, so what we are doing here. So first of all, I am creating a stack of pair. And what is pair? So pair is containing two things. So first one is it is storing the character in the variable first, and it is storing the count in the variable second. Okay, so I am creating a stack of pair. The name is s. Then I'm iterating over the string. So if the stack is empty, then as discussed, we have to push a pair. Okay, so stack is of pair, so I have to push a pair. And s.top. So basically, what is s.top? S.top basically will return me a pair object. It will return me a pair object. Now I want to access the first element. I want to access its character. Okay, I want to access the character, so I have to write dot first. Okay, then here what I am creating, I am calling the constructor. Okay, so for calling the constructor, I need to pass two variables. So I am calling the constructor here, and the character is basically a of I, and the count is basically 1. And then I am pushing the character. So in the else part, as discussed, first what we have to do, we have to do count plus plus. We have to increase the count. So I am doing count plus plus. So s.top is basically will return me the pair object, and with the help of dot second, I will get the count. So I am doing dot second plus plus. So I am storing the count in the variable count, and then I am checking this condition. And if the count becomes k, I am popping our element. Okay, and this is like the old code for getting the answer. So while the stack is not empty, first of all, like we see in the previous example, so d is appearing 2 times. So I have to copy d 2 times. So that's why while count minus minus, so these many number of times the first element will be copied, and then after copying the element, we are popping the element, then reversing the element, reversing the string, and then we are returning our answer. Okay, so while count minus minus. So if you are getting confused what is the meaning of while count minus minus, so it is basically like this: while count is greater than 0, some work, and then I am doing count minus minus. Okay, so this is short way to write. Okay, so this is short way to write this thing. While count is greater than 0, do this thing. Okay, so this is short way, while count minus minus. Okay, now one thing that I want to tell you here is, so here what we are doing, so I am creating a class pair. Okay, so I am creating a class pair. It has two properties, first and second. So in this case it was, in our case it was character first and integer second. Okay, so in C++ we have a pair class inbuilt. We have inbuilt pair class. Okay, we have inbuilt pair class, and the structure of inbuilt pair class is very simple. So it is class pair. Again it will like public. So it is like template first and template second, and it has all other functions that we will see in very short time. So template means basically we can write integer here, we can write character here, we can write float here, we can write string here. Okay, so we can write anything. We can write vector here, we can write map here, we can write queue here, we can write stack here. Basically we can write anything. Okay, so the inbuilt pair class, which is already implemented in C++, that is very powerful. Okay, so we do not have to create the class ourselves. Okay, so we have this inbuilt pair class, and now we will see how to use that pair class. Okay, so for creating the stack, what I will write stack, then pair, then what I will do, so I need two things. Okay, so first and second, and first will be character, comma, second will be an integer because character and count. So second will be integer. So this is the syntax, opening bracket and closing bracket for pair, and now this is opening bracket and this is the closing bracket for pair, and now the name of the stack, which is S. So if you will write this, now it is wrong. Why it is wrong? Because see, have you read this syntax before? Yes, it is very similar to C in greater than. So C++ will get confused here. So what I have to do, so I will write integer greater than this symbol. So this symbol is for pair. Then I have to leave space. I will leave space. Then I will write this second one. Okay, so that C++ do not get confused between this operator, this read operator. Okay, so I will leave a space. Okay, so let's comment out this part. Now I will use inbuilt pair class. Okay, so we are using inbuilt pair class. We have inbuilt pair class in C++, and you should know how to use that class. So that's why I am covering that topic here. Okay, so inbuilt pair class, let's see how to use it. Okay, so what I am doing here, let's remove it from here. Let's comment out everything. Okay, now let's see inbuilt pair class. So inbuilt pair class is very easy to use. So let's first copy the code. Okay, so now for creating a stack, what I will write, I need a pair which is already implemented in C++. Now the pair will have two things, first and second. So first I want character, second I want count. Okay, so and then I will leave a space and then this. Okay, so this is the syntax. Okay, so you know why I leave space here, because cin operator is like this only. Okay, so I have to leave space so that C++ do not get confused. Again, so I am iterating stack empty stack.top.first. So dot first is already there in pair class. Okay, it is first and second, they are fixed. You can see here. So these names are fixed. First and second, these names are fixed. You cannot change these names. Okay, you only can decide the type. Okay, whether it will be integer, character, float, string, vector, map, queue or stack or anything else, or priority queue. Okay, you cannot change the names. The names are fixed of inbuilt pair class. Okay, so the names are fixed, so we cannot change them. So what I have to do, I have to push a pair. Okay, so for pushing a pair, so let us comment out this part. Okay, so let's delete this part. So I have to push a pair. So for pushing a pair, what we have to do, we have to make pair first. So for making a pair, what can I do? So I have a function make pair. So this is the function make pair, and I have to give two things. First one should be character, second one should be integer. So first one should be character, which is a of I. Second one should be integer, which is 1. Okay, very simple. Now everything else will remain same. Okay, so yes, everything else will remain same. Now let's run our code. See, our code is working, and we do not have to implement pair class on our own. Okay, we do not need to create constructor also. So see, we are getting 8 milliseconds. So this code is faster. Okay, so we are not creating this pair class. We do not need to write this code ourselves. Okay, so these variables and this constructor, there is no need to write this. Just simply use the inbuilt pair class. Okay, so we have this inbuilt pair class. You have to give two things, first and second. First one is character, second one is of type integer. Okay, for making the pair I have a function make pair, and I'm giving the first value should be character, second value should be integer. Okay, and everything else is same. So I think there is one more way to create a pair. I'm trying to remember the syntax. So pair P is basically, I think, a of I comma 1. I'm just trying it, I don't remember. So s dot push P. So let's see. Okay, so this is working. Okay, so we can also create pair like this, pair P, and we can initialize in the same line. Instead of using the make pair function, we can write this one. So if we can write this, I think we can also write like this, pair P. So a of I comma 1. Okay, so we can write like this also. So we know there are three ways to make pair. Okay, so at this point we know there are three ways to make pair. So the first way is pair P is basically you give the values, first value and the second value. Now the second option is basically pair P. You give the first value, you give the second value, and the third option is basically using a make pair function. Make pair, first value, second value. Okay, so pair can be of any type. For example, you can create pair like pair of characters comma pair inside pair. So pair of, let's say, integer comma integer, then first one this bracket, then I have to close this bracket, but a space should be there. Okay, a space should be there, otherwise it will get, so this will get confused. So C++ will get confused with these brackets, this operator. So a space should be there, and then the name, for example, let's say P2. Okay, so pair can be of any types. So pair of, let's say, first value is vector and vector of integer. Now the second value is basically, let's call it a map. So map, and inside the map, let's say inside the map I have pair, and inside the pair, let's say I have integer comma integer. So first the map will finish, so this is map, then this one, so this one, and let's say this name is P3. Okay, so in this way, like you can see, there are many uses of pair class. Okay, so pair class is very important. So it is very important class. It is used heavily. Okay, so you should know how to use pair class, and inside the pair class two variables are there. There are only two variables, first and second. Okay, so we have only two variables inside the pair class. So this is important. We have only two variables. Okay, so the aim for solving this question was to introduce pair class, and the second was to how to solve this question. Okay, so what is the time and the space complexity? So basically time complexity of this question is linear, and space complexity, we are creating a stack, so it is big O of n. Okay, so these are the time and the space complexity of this question. Okay, so we will be using pair class whenever we can. Okay, so we will never create class like this. Okay, there is no need to write class code for ourselves. So this is basically waste of time. Okay, so if you have any doubt in this question, you can ask me. Okay, thank you.